we're going to look forward on to the last question now. We're going to look forward. This is a question we're asking all our guests on the show in this particular series. So it's two-pronged. So I'll start with the first one is, what will be the role of learning and development in 2030? So real opportunity to peer into your crystal ball here.
You're the first to ask me about 2030. I think possibly it will be even more central. I think if the trend continues of more uncertainty and more volatility, then learning in many ways will become not just a central part of organization. Learning will become a way of organizing, a way to constantly either hold on to or renew your culture and capabilities. Maybe one of the things we will do is really not to think, are we well organized for learning, but are we learning in a way that makes us well organized?
And then an extension of that, I've read a couple of pieces recently from the big strategy consultants like BCG and McKinsey, advocating that the chief learning officer move out of HR and report directly into the CEO. And I was just wondering what your thoughts around that. Do you think that's something that you're seeing? I know you're working with a lot of companies, or is this just strategy consultants trying to get themselves some work?
My experience, in my experience, it's mixed. And I'm researching in the role of leaders of learning right now, and I work with a lot of companies. And in my experience, it's really almost 50-50. When Steve Jobs hired Joe Podolny at Apple, made him report to himself. There's many companies where, that's a signal that learning is really central. And there's many other companies, as you say, where it reports to the chief HR officer. Look, I'll be honest, what I think is going to happen is there are going to be, as many things probably, a lot more polarization than we see now. So there will be organizations where learning becomes really instrumental. So it's really just, wherever it's positioned, it's really just a tool. It's really just a tool to implement a strategy. It's just another piece of machinery.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the most strategic or the most transformative use of learning, but it's certainly a way to use learning, and I think you'll see a lot more of that. Either you can make the business case for this piece of learning, or we shouldn't be doing it. And at the same time, I think we will see other chief learning officers, in some way embodying a different philosophy of learning that will make learning a lot more radical. And learning will really become not a way to support leadership, but a way to exercise leadership. There will be CEOs that say, hey, the chief learning officer is really in many ways a central component. It's one leader that really upholds a central principle of the leadership of the company. And if we want to be a company that, as many companies now, one of the things that we are seeing, especially among the largest companies, a process of hybridization, right? Where they say, we don't just want to, achieve this particular business results, but we also want to be a social force. We want to help people develop. And the chief learning officer will have a huge role to play there. And so the ability and they will really become almost a peer of the CEO, if you wish, in holding that balance between the instrumental and the kind of socio-cultural purpose of business. I think we'll see chief learning officers going opposite directions, either becoming another tech or really becoming a beacon of humanity in business.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.